Yes, indeed. What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing. You already know I'm back at it once again, man. I got time today, baby. I got time. So, Deontay Wilder, former WBC champion. Deontay Wilder. Well, Deontay Wilder has said something that I'm sure a lot of boxing fans would like to hear. Non biased fans who still want to see this fight, and I'm one of them. Regardless of their records, regardless if they've wet the bed in big fights, regardless of anything. If they've been knocked out, stopped, whatever, at the end of the day, we still want to see this fight. So Deontay Wilder says there's a 90% chance he will face Anthony Joshua after Zhilei Zhang. Yes, indeed. Yes, that's what the man Deontay Wilder told BBC Sports. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder is a guy who he's only fought twice in the last 30 months. You know what I mean? And that was, of course, when he looked like ass against the man Joseph Parker, where he lost every single round in that fight. I ain't give Wilder not one round, you know what I mean? He looked like trash. And I said it going into that fight. If anybody's going to lose on that card that happened in Saudi Arabia that night, it was going to be Deontay Wilder. He'd been out the ring. He was super inactive. You know what I mean? Before that, he had fought the man Hellenius, and that was a first round knockout, man. I doubt that fight even went 30 seconds. Yeah, I mean. And then, of course, before that, he went 1-3 versus the man Tyson Fury. You know, actually, what? He lost two and one draw. You know what I mean? So he's been looking bad in the last 4+ years, really and truly. You know, I'm sure I mentioned this in the last video I did about Deontay Wilder, but that's just the truth of the matter. Deontay Wilder wet the bed and versus Joseph Parker in a fight that was supposed to be that was contracted and signed for. If Wilder beat Joseph Parker and if Anthony Joshua beat Otto Wallin, then they would be facing each other next, possibly on this particular card. You know what I mean? But Deontay Wilder didn't hold up his end of the bargain. But here he is, man. Eddie Hearn throwing him a bone. And that's why I made that video. When Deontay Wilder was now all of a sudden with team, what you call it? Team Eddie Hearn, team Matchroom, right? So I said to myself, excuse me, if that's the case, then that means he's right there, right next to Anthony Joshua. And he should get an opportunity if he holds up his end of the bargain to fight the man Anthony Joshua, you know what I mean? So with that being said, of course, Deontay Wilder's looked like booty butt cheeks in his last few fights. In his last 4 years, he's looked bad out there, you know what I mean? He gave a hell of an effort in that third fight versus Tyson Fury. I give it up to him. Slim went out on his shield, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he got knocked out. You know? But I'll read you some quotes of what the man Deontay Wilder told BBC Sport. Yeah, I mean, he said, quote, "People are always going to want to see that fight, no matter what. I put it in the high 90% chance of happening. I always said it before. It'll be a shame if we never fought. It only takes that one fight, that one night. June 1st is going to be that night, that one fight. Deontay Wilder knocks Zhang's head off, and the world goes crazy. And there we go again. Wilder versus Joshua. They won it again." End quote. So Deontay Wilder is pretty confident that he's going to knock out Zheili Zhang. I think it's a crazy matchup for him, you know what I mean? A southpaw, dude who's a slick older guy who has experience. Excuse me, a guy who participated, who was in that 2008 Olympics that Deontay Wilder brought home a bronze for the United States, you know what I mean? Zheili Zhang is 40 years old, and he dropped the man Joseph Parker twice. I thought he won that fight. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a difficult fight for the man Deontay Wilder, but if he gets past it, if he doesn't wet the bed this time, possibly he might get a shot at the man Anthony Joshua. And at this stage of their career, it's actually getting a shot at the man Anthony Joshua. Both of them have no straps. But you already know what time it is, man. The man Anthony Joshua is more of a cash cow than Deontay Wilder is. You know what I mean? He's not coming off crazy losses like. Well, he lost to Alexander Usyk and he got beat on points. But I got some more quotes for you from Wilder. He said, "quote that when he was basically talking about him losing to Joseph Parker. He said, quote, the monster wasn't there no more. It was one of those boring fights where if anyone did any type of action, they won. Excuse me, end quote. He's actually talking about Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang's fight. And I read it again, quote, that monster wasn't there no more. It was one of those boring fights where if anyone did any type of action, they won. That's how I look at that fight. Joseph Parker is definitely not better than Deontay Wilder at all. He was just better. He was just a better man on the night. End quote. Now Deontay Wilder, I'll read you some quotes about him joining forces with his arch nemesis Eddie Hearn, um, and how him being on. He's basically going to talk about this five versus five on five matchup between Matchroom Boxing and Queensberry Promotions. And he said, quote, to be a part of Matchroom and the captain, how ironic is that? But how special and sweet it is at the same time. I once was told from a wise man, when you're doing business, even with people you don't like, business is business. Treat it accordingly. Sometimes you may have to work with people that you'll never see yourself working with in a thousand years. But at the end of the day, being around a person for so long, understanding their ways as they understand your ways, you know what type of category or place to put them in when they're in your environment. So when you know how to handle a person, you're able to get along with them, you're able to coexist with them. End quote. So Deontay Wilder just broke it down right there. How he feels about being a captain on this matchroom boxing thing. That's probably just, look, really and truly, hey man, hey, Deontay Wilder feels there's a high 90 percentage uh, that the fight with Anthony Joshua will happen if he handles his business against Zhilei Zhang. I'm not as confident as Deontay Wilder, but then again, Deontay Wilder knows what's going on behind the scenes more than I do. I got to see both these brothers in the ring to believe it, you know what I mean? Really and truly. I got to see both of these fellas in the ring for me to actually believe that the fight's going to happen. You never know. Eddie Hearn might be throwing the man Deontay Wilder a bone to make him feel cozy and happy and all that, make him a matchroom captain or whatnot. And at the end of the day, even if he does handle his business versus Zheili Zhang and does knock him out and beats him like he says he's going to, it doesn't guarantee him a shot at the man Anthony Joshua, you know what I mean? His best opportunity was to beat Joseph Parker, which he didn't. Now they can make excuses for not making that fight happen. And you know what? They're on the right. They actually have more leverage than Deontay Wilder in almost every position going into this negotiations if they even do happen to go into negotiations. So time will tell. We shall see. Deontay Wilder is high up on about getting a Anthony Joshua fight. I think he need to focus on this 40-year-old southpaw from China. You know what I mean? Zheili Zhang. He's a dangerous dude. Like I told y'all, man. I thought he beat Joseph Parker. You know what I mean? He did fade late in the fight, but at the end of the day, he did drop him twice. And I thought he did enough to get the dub, even if the fight was a draw, 6-6. You know what I'm saying? Them two knockdowns should have been the difference. But Deontay Wilder still has a lot to prove as far as getting back into position in boxing. Now, if he had retired or by now, after them Tyson Fury fights, or even after the Joseph Parker fight, he would have nothing else to prove. He's done with boxing. But here he is. He's still trying to turn the wheels. He's still trying to make a name for himself in the heavyweight division, like how he says it. You know what I mean? And we shall see, you know what I mean? He got a hard task in front of him. I'm not sure who Anthony Joshua's facing next. He's been chilly chill, hanging with the Turkey Al Shashashki. And he's basically just waiting in the woodworks to see what's really going on. You know, Deontay Wilder. What do you think's gonna happen when Al Shashashki said basically that he wants Anthony Joshua to face the immediate winner of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk? You think the man Deontay Wilder is going to, excuse me, you think Anthony Joshua is going to pass up an opportunity to at least fight for a few of them straps? He's held 3 straps before, been a unified champ, 2-time unified champ. You think he's going to miss out on that opportunity again to become a 3-time unified champion or fight Deontay Wilder and possibly get his block knocked off? Now, both these guys could knock each other out. You already know. Wilder could knock out Joshua. Joshua could do vice versa. But if it comes to knockout power and all that and who got it, you got to go with Deontay Wilder, you know. AJ Mike could be beating him. He has a more complete, more polished game. But y'all already know about Anthony Joshua Chin, man. China Bowl style. B Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. I'll see you guys on the next one, y'all. And let me know in the comment section if you think Wilder will get an opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua. And Deontay Wilder is banking on that fight happening before this year, 2024 ends. Like I said, I got to see it to believe it. Let me know what you guys think. Gone.